homosexual rights should be legal, just for the simple fact that, you know, it's like segregation where people are just neglecting a certain type of, you know, race or just for the way the person is. I'm not homosexual myself, but I think it was a good choice for Obama to legalize the right of gay marriage. And I just feel like nobody should be neglected from society because, you know, that's just like how, like I said before, when segregation was you know, legal and blacks didn't have the right to do anything, you know, that's just wrong in my opinion.
Athletes should have the right to get drafted into the league right after high school. I don't think it's fair that guys can get drafted right after high school. They can finish 1 and 2 years of college and get drafted. As for females, we have to finish college to actually go into the league. And
more money because they teach us about everything, and they should get more money because after we leave from school, we have to use that knowledge and use it in our own lives. So I think that's why teachers should get more money instead of less sometimes.
Our all-defined rights, our human rights, our basic rights and freedoms that we the people are entitled to, of life, liberty, and freedom, and we have laws that protect our rights, from Bill of Rights to our Constitution. My topic today would be the rights to vote, and I believe it's very controversial that felons are not allowed to have the right to vote, and honestly I think that they should after a certain amount of years. I do understand that punishing them, like a long-term punishment, I agree with that. However, I don't agree with them being stripped of their rights. And it benefits more to us if they were to vote, because we do need votes. I think it hurts the United States as a whole if we lose that amount of percentages, because if I'm correct, 40%, 45% of voters would be felons. And
the right meaning for me is you can do whatever you want as long as you keep the morality. There are so many rights, such as liberty of life, speech of life, or something like that. But it's really difficult to explain about within 30 minutes, but right is equal to everything.
It's actually reproductive rights. We have a classmate that's actually currently pregnant, and I'm basically going to use her as an example.
It's about the undocumented people, what the U.S. calls the illegal aliens. I wanted to talk about their rights because a lot of them they can enlist in the army, yet they can't vote and they're restricted from other things. Some people can't own property or do other stuff, yet they can serve for the U.S. And I'm just saying that they should get the same amount of rights as a U.S. citizen, especially if they enlist in the army, especially if they fought for the United States rights and everything.
About people rights and about work in U.S. In certain places they hire certain race, and I think it's wrong. I think everyone should have rights to do job, like if they have the perfect qualification, not just based on where they come from. They will get hired based on that. I think that's wrong. So I think people should have equal rights on getting job in in their position, like in the right qualification that they apply with. So that's all.
Homosexuals should have the right to be married because everyone should be right to marry the person they love. And that's about it. Love is love.
I was like 11 seconds.
Love is.
The government legalized the immigrant to live over here. If they don't have paper, they should give them paper right now, because what they need to do, they need to securize the border, stop people come over here, and then those who's already here, they need to give them paper, give them their residence, so they give them the opportunity to live another life. If they leave them like that, and every day they struggle, they cannot find work, they cannot find job. Now what they do, they work for any kind of money, and then people who have paper now being struggling. When their jobs get down, and then the people who doesn't have paper, they get on top because they can work for any money for $2, $7, $6 an hour. But now, if they secure the borders, and then they stop people coming in this country, and then they give those who are already here that opportunity to get their paper, I think it's going to be a big step for the economy.
It means that you could do basically almost anything you want, but you can't harm anyone. And each right protects us from each other from harming.
I think Africa's a beautiful country. It's not really what people think, that we don't live on the trees and the forest. I think people can do more research about it, and I'm really proud to be here.
The word rights is very complex. I feel like rights to me means you have the right to liberty, you have the right of freedom of speech, but there's also boundaries, and so I mean 45 or 30 seconds wouldn't be enough for me to just go. Wouldn't be enough for me to say what rights mean, but I feel like we have the rights to, like I said, freedom, liberty, and but everything with boundaries.
Rights for everybody, for people of every gender, every race, every ethnicity, every religion, every orientation. People of every background should have a rights because that's how people live. That's how God created us.
Tell them. Yep.
And everybody should live normally without any depressions. Any depressions are fine because people depressed, they have feelings, but
a system that we should follow to protect the human race. It's not racially or anything like that. It's just to protect everybody as a whole. That's why you have freedom of speech. That's a right that you have. You have the right to live where you want to live. It's basically laws that protect us as humans. That's what I think.
Human rights.
What's your human right?
To be whoever I can be.
I believe that we all have the right to have a gun because we all have the right to protect ourselves. I don't believe that if we are somebody breaks in our house, we have to call the cops. I believe that we have the right to pull out our ratchet and shoot them.
The first means human rights or the correct thing. So if I were identity with rights, I would divide the word to be two parts. One part is the white one, which is the correct one, and the other one will be the black one, which is the wrong one. So you were just respect the others, what they want to do. This is the correct.
To me, rights are a set of laws that make everything fair for people. If there was no rights, then it would be tough for people to do the right thing, and they can steal, they can kill people, they can illegally come into the country, which is not fair. So I think rights are very important, and we should always pick rights that are equal to everybody. Thank you.
Make all the multiracial babies I
want to speak about the voting rights because I think the government has set it up so if somebody gets arrested and gets a felony, that they're not allowed to vote. And those votes go mostly towards Democrats, and Republicans they always get away with that because there's a lot of people, minorities, who would vote Democratic. And I just feel that they need to change that in society so everybody can vote, regardless if you get arrested or not.
Gay rights, I guess that it should be allowed, and I have no problem with it.
I feel that women should have equal rights, be all the same as everybody. Work, gym, everything, we all the same. We all have equal rights. And women have all the same as smart interested everybody else, so we don't have the rights for everything. And
rights are very important because everybody needs to go by something that defends you, so that you know that you have the right to speak, that you're free, that you and that you are an individual with certain
So you know what you're doing, girl? You got your step down pat?
that you are capable of you know,
Don't tell me you're right.
doing what you gotta do, having your rights,
Don't do
and
that.
standing up for each other, standing up for yourself, and doing always the right thing.
Women's rights. Women are usually looked at as second-class citizens in the U.S. or pretty much everywhere, but I guess more so now and lately. Like if you watch the news and you hear about the way people think about women and how we're kind of like expendable figures, and you know we don't matter. You know, just because we can vote and things like that doesn't mean our voices, our opinions, or our vote even matter or count. And I think we need to fight to like be able to have our voices heard, be able to get equal pay, you know, have the same status as most men in the same jobs and things like that, and have like politicians not use, you know, our bodies as like a talking point in their like political games and things like that, and not even know really what we go through. I think we should be able to you know voice our opinions more without fear of being called like emotional or irrational or you know just be a woman or things like that.